Slash and Burn is a podcast about fanfiction. It is filled with loud swearing and explicit sexual description. It is not for children, nor the weak of stomach, nor will. Although we attribute to authors as best we can, we have no legal rights to the written works we discuss, nor the characters and universes upon which they are based. We also firmly believe that as long as what you're doing isn't hurting anyone else, whatever you do to get your jollies is all well and good. Join us and have some laughs over the world of fanfic. And seriously, this shit is filthy. You've been warned. Welcome to the magical realm. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Slash and Burn, Episode 8, which is actually Episode 9. Sorry again about that. So this is the podcast where we talk about fanfiction. My name's Steve.
And I'm Kira.
And she almost missed that cue.
I did. I was sorting through my tabs over here.
Yeah. So, what's new with you?
Nothing much. This living room is pretty new.
There's a brand new rug and a different color on the floor.
Mm-hmm. We're at a different locale today.
Yeah, we're recording in our backup studio because we were already going to be here. So if you hear any sounds that are weirder than the sounds that you normally hear,
like a dog or a loud neighbor, those are
door
probably
slamming.
Yeah,
you probably won't hear a chiming clock though.
Because if so, then we are haunted.
They've also got +1 cats from what we have at the home base, so you might hear more cats potentially.
That's true.
As for me, football starts in earnest tomorrow. I am very hype. I am wearing my Cam Wake jersey.
He is indeed wearing a shirt with numbers on it, so
it's
I
not
can
a
only.
Shirt, it's a jersey.
Ugh.
Cameron Wake, my favorite football player. Go Fish. Speaking of,
Go Fish.
kind of the So do you remember Futurama?
Nope.
This was a show that was on Fox and then later Comedy Central. Well, in Futurama, at one point, Fry mentions that he spent half a semester at Coney Island Community College, and he then says, "Go Whitefish." And I always thought that was funny, just because Whitefish is kind of a funny name for a college mascot, right?
Okay.
Only recently did I find out that a Coney Island Whitefish is slang for a used condom that you find in the middle of the street.
What?
I know, right?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly. So that joke has taken on layers of
Wow.
extra dimensions now.
Huh.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day about a 15-year-old TV show.
Mm-hmm. So, we hope that you enjoyed the last episode, despite the censoring. Kira did not enjoy the last episode very much.
Super necessary.
I think you heard me. I just listened to the Vor episode earlier today, and I heard myself laughing harder than I can remember laughing at anything in the longest time. So, I'm probably just a shitty human being. But there was some stuff that we cut out of there just because it was
so bad.
It was really bad. We'll probably do an uncensored version of that chunk. We'll put it up in the feed at some point, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it exists. So.
Or maybe for like our 50th episode or something, we'll do it as a whatever. Anyway.
Or if you want to send us money, we'll give it to you for cash.
Yeah, send us $5. We'll give you the uncensored version. Or you can just go read the story, because I'm pretty sure that you
it's
named
on the
it.
internet, and I think we said the title and the author, so you should be able to find it on your own.
But if you were as grossed out by it as Kira was, and didn't find it as funny as I did, then we're glad that you stuck with us for another episode. We decided to go a little more lighthearted this time round, although we do get into some dark shit later. But anyway, not quite as dark. I don't.
Nothing
think,
will ever be that dark.
But so I picked a favorite of Kira's, but one which she tells me she's never looked at fanfic for.
It's true.
Until today, and that is
Jurassic Park and related properties, I guess.
Yep. That's how I would have said it, too.
Yeah.
So Jurassic World made infinity dollars all over the world, and dinosaurs are always cool. So this seems
Super
pretty
cool.
timely. But why don't you go ahead and tell the people what Jurassic Park means to you, the person?
Let's see. I've always really loved dinosaurs, and when this movie came out, I was 9. And it was like the most exciting thing in the world, and we went to see it opening night at a drive-in theater, and it was like the most amazing thing that had ever happened to me up until that point. Probably not too many things since then either. And it's just, man, it's such a formative part of my life, you know. Every movie I've seen opening day or before, and Yeah, man, I wore the same t-shirt to the fourth one that just came out that I wore to the first one because I'm a weirdo like that and I have really old clothes.
So the reason you never looked up fanfic was just because it never crossed your mind, you didn't want to sully the universe with perversion, you don't think any of the characters are sexy?
That's a good question. I think it's partially because, like, I like the characters in all the properties, but I don't really care about them outside of the story.
Okay.
And I mean, maybe it has something to do with the fact that I've also read the books, like, infinity times. That, like, everything I wanted to know is kind of covered already.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, there is, like, when... Third one? No. Yeah, the third one is the one where, Alan comes back, right? And there's that Billy kid.
Yeah.
I'm like 99% certain that there was something going on between them. And you can ask Kim, she'll back me up.
You can also ask fanfiction.net and Archive of Our Own, because fully like 3/4 of the stories that I looked at today was about that.
But, strangely enough, I never looked up stories about them, because I think I just, like, it felt enough for me. Like, I didn't need to know more. I don't know. It's weird, right? It's super weird.
Yeah, when you said you had never looked at it, I was legitimately taken aback a bit.
I think it also might have something to do with the fact that most of the fan fiction I read is not about people who are real physical human beings. I think that I don't find sex between real physical human beings as attractive as, like, you know, animated ones.
Cartoons?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're not saying that Dr. Ian Malcolm is a real human being who
no,
lives.
I mean,
you're
he
saying
is,
that
but...
he's portrayed
yes, by a real human dude
who
I don't necessarily care to see having sex with anybody else. If that makes sense. Yeah. I think that is a lot of... Now, my Sherlock fascination goes against that 100%. But that's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head, now that I think about it. I think that's why the gross fluids and stuff don't gross me out as much either, because they're not real. Huh. Man, I'm learning about myself today.
There you go. The ultimate journey of self-discovery. The podcast. I like the Jurassic Park films, and I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was a kid, but I'm not an obsessive like you are quite.
Yeah.
I can freely admit that Jurassic Park 3 was a piece of shit, and 2 wasn't all that great either. My wife is
The book was better. The book, Jurassic...
I don't think I ever
read
read
Lost World was way better than the movie, but I'll take it.
So anyways, we got some stories that we're going to share with you from the Jurassic Park universe, or at least tangentially related in that there's dinosaurs in them, because some people kind of take that whole fan fiction thing a little far. They might just be fans of dinosaurs and not fans of Jurassic Park. I made a lot of air quotes that you couldn't see there because this is not one of them newfangled video microphones.
No, it should be though. We should do a periscope.
So how many? You have 3?
Yes.
All right. I have, I think, 5. 2 of them are hella short, but I think
2 of mine are really short too. But I fell asleep while researching. So
and then we'll flip-flop. So my first one is called "The Dinosaur King's Mate" by Lexi's Exie on.
I already am done.
On fanfiction.net. So first I'm going to read you the summary straight from the author's mouth, because none of this is encapsulated in the story. It's all like you're supposed to read the summary to get where the story starts. And also it's a like a little distilled insanity pill. So summary. What would happen if a man was shipwrecked on Isla Nublar? Nublar?
Yeah, Nublar.
Nublar?
Yeah.
Nublar. What would happen if a man was shipwrecked on Isla Nublar? What if that man stumbled upon the scientist lab, where they keep the entire dinosaur DNA? The one giant dinosaur DNA, they keep it there. And what do you think would happen if this said man drank all the DNAs?
What?
Derek Johnson can transform into any dinosaur he wants, even a T-Rex.
I doubt that's what would happen.
Making him the king. He's always the biggest and the strongest. Now, a few weeks later, a little girl is washed up on shore. The Dino King takes a liking to her. He takes her back to his den, keeping her as his mate. The little girl can't remember anything, so she sticks to Derek. Years later, she is 16. They travel to Isla Sorna together.
How?
Only to bump into some humans in a boat. As Derek takes care of them in Spinosaurus form, Molina takes to the shore in search of the man and a boy who crashed into the trees.
Ooh.
Weeks later, a plane comes to the island in search of the boy.
So we're in Jurassic Park 3.
I honestly remember so little of the film that probably... I know that the Spinosaur is from Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, no, that's the beginning of Jurassic Park 3. I mean, not the Dinosaur King part.
And also not marrying the 4-year-old girl?
No, that's weird. No, not that.
Okay.
No. The plane crash crap, all that happened. Yes.
So then some really boring stuff happens, which seems kind of incredible to say when the focus of the story is a man-boy who can change into any dinosaur he wants whenever he wants for any reason that he wants. But really it is honestly pretty boring. But eventually they're running away from some trouble, and he's in raptor form, and she's on his back. And for some reason that I read it like 4 times and I can't figure out why, but she wants him to stop running away. Maybe so she can talk to the other humans, because... he's a human that can transform into a dinosaur, but he likes being a dinosaur most of the time. This is like the only other humans that she's ever seen. She wants to talk to him or whatever. But they're trying to hunt him. Whatever. But so she decides that to get him to stop, she's going to trick him into sex so that he'll stop running away. Her voice was so innocent, you could have believed her. That's not true. I would never use you in any way. I just really want you right now, that's all. Melina paused. I guess you don't want me as much then, she pouted, going limp on Derek's neck and giving him a long, dreadful sigh. Derek suddenly stopped, making Melina sit up straight in alarm. In a flash, Melina was against a tree, her raptor pinning her with his head. He then turned to his human form, his face inches from his mate's face. His voice was low and possessive. You have no idea how much I want you every minute of every day.
Whoa.
His reed eyes narrowed dangerously. You taught me every day without even trying, so you don't have a fucking clue what it does to me when you talk like that, the way you just did. Melina's heart began to speed up at every word he said. Her body became warm and fuzzy as his hand began to trail up her hips. Show me then, she purred.
So, is this, like, they've had sex before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 16 now, but she's been his mate since she was 4.
Yeah, I
It
like the
doesn't
way they
explicitly
skipped forward
yeah.
till a point where it was relatively acceptable.
Right.
Gross.
And we'll touch on the age thing a little
Okay.
bit at the very end also. Derek smashed his lips against hers, molding them together like 2 puzzle pieces. I thought that was pretty poignant.
Inventive, but not very sexy.
His tongue slid out and licked the bottom of her lip, asking for entrance. Melina could only moan, slightly opening her mouth to allow him in. His tongue explored the formulary? Sweet-tasting mouth. Formulary is the word that he used.
What is it supposed to be? Like, what?
I tried to figure that out.
Familiarly?
Oh, maybe familiarly. That probably makes a lot more sense, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but...
His tongue explored the formulary, sweet-tasting mouth, roaming over her teeth and massaged their tongues together. Melina moaned loudly when Derek began to ground his very hard erection against her heated core. Still kissing her, Derek reached down under her t-shirt, lifting it up and above her head, breaking their kiss. Once the piece of fabric was gone, they rejoined again, lips forced together. A few minutes passed, feeling like hours before their lips finally separated. But to only travel to other parts of their bodies, Derek traveled his way down her neck, nipping a few times. He then grabbed hold of her waist, lifting her up with ease. Melina's perked nipples stood out and ready for Derek. He took no time in taking one into his mouth, sucking hard and twisting his tongue around it. Derek, Melina moaned out, gripping his hair tightly. Her legs were wrapped around Derek's waist. After a while, Derek switched, tending to the ignored breast. All Melina could do was moan in pleasure and grip Derek closer. She's moaning an awful lot.
Yeah.
A blush spread across the teen, gross, as the king glanced down and admired his mate's girl parts.
What? You're kidding me.
No, that's what it actually says. Without a second thought, Derek dropped to his knees, his face right in front of Melina's vagina. Gently, he kissed the soft patch of hair before muttering, "Mine." Derek began to stroke her inner thigh, bringing her right leg up to drape over his strong shoulder, giving him complete access. He took his finger and brought them up.
Is she leaning against something, or is she just
a tree. He had her up
okay.
against the tree.
All right.
And brought them up to her wet lips, slowly massaging them. The thems are referring to different things there. But
Yes.
his thump played with her clit. Not quite Zach Goes to the Pud, but it's pretty good.
Oh, God.
His thump played with her clit, earning him a moan of pleasure from his red-haired mate. Someone's a little wet.
Of course she has red hair.
Derek noticed the warm liquid that coated his fingers. Melina could only moan in response. It's literally the only thing that she can do, apparently. Derek thrust a finger inside the tight, warm heat, moving it slowly in and out. Melina yelped. Wait. I take it back. She can also yelp. Melina yelped as he added another finger, working them to stretch her. Pants escaped her lips. I know what that means. But at first, I didn't.
The mental image I just got. At first, and since they were just talking about other lips, it was those lips for which the pants
That's not where I went, but that's
sprang.
pretty good too.
I pictured like a small pair of like doll pants. I don't know.
No, I was picturing like full grown, like jeans just Pants escaped her lips as time passes and Derek works his magic fingers. Finally, Derek's tongue slid out and licked Melina's wet folds, making her making her jump at the sudden contact. Oh, Derek, oh, she screamed, gripping his hair and buried his face further into her crotch. The king plunged his tongue deeper into Melina, his fingers pumping faster. After a few more thrusts, Melina's stomach tightened. Giving a loud moan, she came all over Derek's face and fingers. He gladly licked it all up, making sure not to leave a single drop. Licking his lips, he stood up, holding his mate close to him as she came down from her high. Wow, Melina whispered, leaning on him. Mm-hmm, Derek hummed, kissing his love's forehead. Delicious, I might say. So, then they're about to get attacked by some raptors, but the story ends and there's no more chapters. I know, right? So, sorry everybody. But there is an author's note at the end. And while I liked the sex scene, I liked the words that were used in the sex scene and stuff, this was easily my favorite part of the story.
Oh boy.
Author's note. Hope you liked it. I would like to point out a few things about Derek. 1. He is more like a dinosaur than he is human. 2. He likes to be in dino form more than human. 3. He is the strongest and fastest. 4.
Dinosaur, person, anything?
Everything. Yep. 4. He loves Melina more than anything in the world. 5. He does not age due to all the chemicals. 6. When Melina turns 18, Derek will bite her, injecting the chemicals into her so she will be like him.
What? Excuse me?
So, what I like is that he took her as his child bride when she washed up on shore at the age of, I think it says 4 at some point in the story.
Yeah, it did when you were reading it, yeah.
But he waits until she's 18, until she's of legal consent age, before he will inject her with the crazy dinosaur transformation chemicals. And also, how does he do that?
That doesn't make a shred of sense.
Not at all. So, this world sounds like it could be so exciting when this guy is just making up these rules left and right. Also, odds that this was written by someone named Derek.
Yeah, real good, I'm gonna say. Real good. Or Melina, alternately.
I guess. I figured it to be a total Derek move, though, yeah.
Why, because there's science in it? You think a lady wouldn't write a story about science?
No. Because Derek is the strongest and the fastest.
Alright, fine.
Also, he does not age due to all the chemicals.
The chemicals!
So, that was my first one, and it is one of the 3 major tropes that I found in Jurassic Park / Jurassic World fanfiction. The first one is people turning into or being hybridized with dinosaurs. This guy kind of gets the best of both worlds, because he can just flip back and forth however he wants. Also,
right.
He's the strongest and the fastest.
Right, clearly.
But there were a lot of other stories where people were humans and they got turned into raptors, or they were like raptors who had like human-like thought patterns that could speak English, and all that kind of stuff.
I hope we didn't pick the same story.
So that was one of the 3 huge themes that ran through like 99% of these stories.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out. Because there was not a tremendous amount of creativity.
No, again, this is
fandom.
Another fandom in which I'm severely disappointed.
Yeah, man, like, the whole idea of this world is that genetic engineering and genetic engineering going mad, right? So you would think, you genetically engineer, like, a person who had, like, 7 dicks and a dinosaur that had 18 anuses or whatever, and then you could do all kinds of different stuff with that. But I didn't see any of that kind of shit whatsoever. There's just regular people turning into regular velociraptors.
Right.
Like, Snore.
Well, he turned into the
He could turn into anything, true.
And he's the fastest and the strongest.
And he's the fastest and the strongest. Right.
So, I mean, I'm not sure what DNA gave him that power, but...
And I wonder, it's kind of like could God make a rock so heavy that he himself could not lift it kind of thing. If he's always the strongest and the fastest, what if he turns himself into a dinosaur that is neither the strongest nor the fastest at something? You know what I mean? What if he turns himself into like a brontosaur, which is not the fastest dinosaur? Is he still faster than all of the fast dinosaurs because he's still Derek, the strongest and the fastest?
I'm picturing a brontosaurus, which I know isn't a real thing and then is again.
Whatever.
But running like at raptor speeds, and it is hilarious to me.
It sure is.
It's kind
and
of
terrifying.
like the really fat cat.
Okie doke, your turn.
My turn. Okay. My first one is called Through the Eyes of a Monster by The Smiling Shadow. Now, this one's not very sexy, and it's not very good, but I thought that it made me laugh, and I think you'll understand why in a second. In fact, I think I'm just going to read this whole thing because it's pretty short. Like 815 words short. So, my hunt. That's it. Just a little more and the trap will be set. I was looking at a 3-horned food. By the way, this is told through the, from the point of view of a velociraptor.
I was getting that gist.
Yeah. This is all too easy. 3 horns never seem to be that hard when a plan comes together. I could see it through the bushes. It looked so good. So much meat, food, good. The herd is far away. All too easy, 3-horn. My father will be proud. This is my first hunt. This will be a good hunt. He has taught me well. He knows much more than any other male in our pack. He has taught me well. That is why he is the alpha male, and he has taught me well. Do you think he taught him well? I can see...
Repetitiveness is my job. Being repetitive is my job. My job! Being repetitive is my job.
I can see the female with the scar now, not too far behind the 3-horn. Then I look to the side. The one with the red stripe is in place. Then to the other side, the one with the large hump is ready. All too easy. Soon we will have plenty of food. Soon father will be proud. I stepped. No, a noise. I had made a noise. The female looked at me. She seemed angry. I have endangered the hunt.
GG, scrub.
The 3-horn stopped grazing and looked around. Not easy. It stepped towards its herd. Roar, the female said. The call to attack. Out from the bushes came my pack. We ran towards the 3-horn. The one with the red stripe got to it first. Jumping in grace, he landed on its back, biting and tearing the food's flesh. It seemed good. I jumped. I landed. I started to tear with my toe claw. It felt good. My father will be proud. No, I am too close to the 3-horn's head. Father warned me of this. Get too close to a 3-horn's head is bad. It jerked its head at me, and I could see its eyes. The eyes full of fear and pain, but also the will to survive, like all of us. It got one of its horns around me
deep.
And drove me into the ground. That's what I'm getting to. It hurt. My blood fell to the ground. A wound I would recover from. Pain. I felt pain. So much pain. I saw my blood, and I looked at my pack killing the 3-horn. It was bleeding, like me. It felt pain, like me. It was just like me, able to feel pain and fear. Why? Why do we put other things in so much pain?
The world's first vegan velociraptor.
The 3-horn fell to the ground. It was dead. My first hunt. As I went towards the food, I found a place to eat. I looked back at its herd. There I saw its family. It had family. They must feel pain too. How can we do this? I looked at the 3-horn. Its eyes still open. I couldn't eat it. It was just like me. I got the female. In raptor tongue, it says in parentheses. How can we do this? What? Eat a creature who is just like us. It feels pain just like me. She paused for a second. When you leaped on it, it felt good? Yes. That is because it was we are supposed to do? The plant eaters eat plants.
Sounds solid. I'm not having a problem following that at all.
We eat plant eaters. But why? That is how it is. You saw in its eyes the will to survive? Yes. It is that will that drives us to kill them. Without them, we would die. It has been that way for all time. They get eaten by us. This is how we survive. I looked down. It still didn't feel right. Come on, my son. Let us join in the food. You must be hungry. Please eat, young one. It is our way. I nodded my head. It still didn't feel right, but that is how it is. I walked with my mother, the greatest female with a scar down her eye. My mother, a wise mother, a good hunter. I am proud of you. Not many of us realize the pain we must give to survive. Not even your father. My son, you are special. My mother was proud of me, not for my skill, but for my thoughts. It felt good. She was proud of me. My father was proud of me. But I wasn't sure I was proud of him. This is the way. We kill plant eaters. That is that. I put my head in the body and ate some meat. Finn.
I feel like they're really going for some really hardcore type social commentary. I'm not sure exactly what it is, other than we're all the same, man. But then it seems like it's going that way.
Right.
And then it left turns into...
Oh, well.
But yeah, no, totally.
This is
we
the
have
way
to.
it is.
Yeah, it's
gonna eat just Triceratops. sucks.
Why is it this way? Don't know. Just is. Which is a pretty shitty cop-out. That was not where I expected that to go, though.
Yeah.
I will also point out, though, that's not really Jurassic Park fan fiction. That's more just dinosaur fan fiction.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you 100%.
But yeah, no, I was really hoping he was going to like stalk away indignant.
So did I, or like starve to make a point, but no.
Commit seppuku, something like that. My second selection is Foggy Jeep Windows.
Oh boy.
By Madeline Moon on fanfiction.net.
I am already excited about this.
And it tries to explain how the windows in the Jeep got all foggy in the first place in the first film.
Oh, boy.
I can see Kira throwing her head back in ecstasy already. So finally, some Dr. Ian Malcolm. Hubba hubba.
Mm-hmm. I did not see a lot of him.
There wasn't nearly as much as I thought there was going to be. It's probably because it's all fucking kids writing it, and they're all about their Chris Pratt. Mm-hmm. Who I like Chris Pratt, don't get me wrong, but
there's so much of it.
So here we go. Ian Malcolm. I'm going to read the entirety of the thing. It's very short. Ian Malcolm, tall, dark, and handsome, sat in the back seat of a Jurassic Park Jeep, sweating slightly and watching Dr. Alan Grant over the rims of his tinted black sunglasses. The power had been out for half an hour in the park, and the time was going quite slowly for Ian. When he had met Dr. Grant on the helicopter, he realized it had been a bad decision to have worn his leather pants. Shifting his legs so that his thighs were hiding his erection, Ian glanced again at the doctor. A twig snapped somewhere beside Ian's window, and Alan's head swerved around, making Ian boil under his gaze. Grant's jaws clenched as he started past his comrade. Maybe should have been stared.
Probably.
Feeling Ian's eyes rake his body. Though he realized that they could potentially die at any moment, Alan couldn't help but notice how incredibly attractive Ian was. Ian crossed his legs, causing Alan's breath to catch at the sound of tight leather friction. Tight Leather Friction, by the way, is my Motley Crue cover band. The radio in the car cracked sporadically. Tim's faint voice rambling something about night vision goggle through the connection. Ian and Alan both lunged for the radio and collided with each other's knees and elbows. The amount of sexual tension that had been built up between these two men sent electric shocks simultaneously through their bodies when they touched. I'm hoping that those are metaphorical electric shocks.
Oh, I hope so.
Not literal ones. To Ian's surprise, Alan made the first move, though only by a mere millisecond. He grabbed the back of Ian's neck and, placing the other on the lapels of his black leather jacket, pulled. They both groaned as their eyes shut and their bodies horizontally collided with the others.
Was he wearing a leather jacket? I thought he just had like a black shirt
I don't
on.
remember him wearing a leather jacket either, but I could
It's
be
like
wrong.
tropical.
As their bodies horizontally collided with the others. Lips fought for dominance, quick and hard at first, then morphing to wet and passionate, occasionally punctuated with moans of satisfaction. Ian rolled over and quickly straddled Alan, sinking his hips onto the gasping doctor's growing erection. Yeah, so I think it's just like, I guess this is like the dude version of scissoring or something. Like,
It sounds that way.
Yeah.
With pants on.
Right. Both men knew they had limited time, so pants were hastily discarded. Not anymore. Ian growled and put his mouth on Alan's cock, feeling him throb with arousal as his tongue explored. Within minutes of intense sexual pleasure between the men, Alan moaned the mathematician's name loudly and climaxed in his mouth. The doctor peeked and rode out his pleasure with a few more thrusts, then collapsed on the seat under Ian. Ian had other plans. Placing Alan's hand on his needy erection, Ian kissed the doctor harshly while thrusting into his hands, groaning at the squeezing and stroking of those hands. Ian stopped sucking on Alan's neck long enough to cry out, carried out in waves of pleasure. The two men lay entangled with each other, sexually exhausted on the seat of the Jeep.
Just sexually?
Well, mumbled Ian, tickling Alan's collarbone with his lips, that certainly was... He was interrupted by a not-too-far-off roar, and the scramble for pants began as Tim's voice crackled through the radio. I never did like kids, Alan thought as he zippered up his pants. So now this I like a lot. It's written relatively well. There were a couple of spelling errors, but mostly it was not hard to follow.
Right,
It used real human adult words.
Given some of the things we've read, yes.
There's actual sex in it, which is a positive, and it totally fits in universe, and it's got a cool little tie-in to the first film, actually, not just like in the universe in general, but directly to the first movie.
Like, here's why this car was so foggy.
Right, and also it's got Dr. Ian Malcolm in it. Great. Really just great. This was just what I wanted other than dino sex. This was the kind of thing that I was really hoping for, and I wish more fandoms would do more often. So you had 3, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, then I'm going to do another one.
Okay.
right away, because this is easily the shortest thing that I think anyone has ever read on the podcast yet. Are you ready to be offended on multiple levels?
Always.
Okay, then here we go. This one is named Pregnant and Lost by Jortendo, because it's in all caps.
Jortendo?
Jortendo. Is that like Jort and Nintendo, you think?
Yeah.
Probably. Here we go. 3 paragraphs. Turquoise Daffodil was 9 months pregnant with twins when she lost on a hike in the jungle.
Turquoise Daffodil?
Turquoise Daffodil.
Okay.
You may be asking yourself, why is someone that close to giving birth in a jungle by herself?
I would
How
not
did
be
she
asking
get there?
that.
Shit, I don't know myself. I'm just making this up as I go along.
Oh my god.
Normal pregnant women stay home and eat chow mein mixed with pistachio ice cream, then scream at the TV for having nothing good on.
You're right, I am offended.
Paragraph 2. Anyway, Turquoise continued to walk through the forest, hoping to find a ranger station or something, when she heard a rustling in the bushes. Slowly, 2 raptors emerged. Now, the smart thing to do would be to run or to shoot them. But seriously, does Turquoise Daffodil sound like a name an intelligent person would have? Didn't think so. This bitch seriously wanted to mate with these raptors. Paragraph 3. So she started to take her clothes off slowly until she was almost naked. But then reality kicked in, and so the raptors tore her to shreds, ate her, and ate her twins for dessert. Because fucking reptiles of any sort is only going to get you a Darwin Award. Good day.
Wow.
At the end, there is an author's note. I think I may be a horrible person. It is just that Jurassic Park is my favorite movie, and when I heard about the OCX Raptor thing, something inside me kind of snapped. So this is somebody who, like us, just went looking on fanfiction.net good-naturedly for some Jurassic Park fanfiction, but when he saw what people were doing with raptors and their self-insertion characters, he got so upset that he had to write it in the only way that he could, which was writing it. Yeah.
Which was somehow... Oh, haha, I get... Okay.
Thanks.
Took me a minute.
Yeah.
So, his...
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to form... Why did he take out his aggressions on a pregnant lady with a
the pregnancy
dumb name?
thing is weird, right? I guess maybe it's because some of the stuff has the people getting knocked up by the raptors, and or vice versa, I guess maybe. Or maybe he just wanted to throw in that twins for dessert line. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah.
Maybe he just hates women.
Or maybe he does. It's entirely possible. He didn't. If he had mentioned that the twins were both girls...
Then we'd know for sure.
Then we'd know for sure, right. But as it is, we're looking at maybe an 80% shot. But yeah, that one, I just thought that was an interesting little blurb.
That was incredibly short.
Yeah, told you. The OCX Raptor thing. Something
I don't
inside
know.
me kind of snapped.
When did the OCX Raptor thing happen? When was this written?
I didn't check the date on this, but I think it was closer to the front end of the fanfiction.net Jurassic Park archive, but I think it was before most of the Jurassic World stuff was written, so I'm going to say it was pre-Jurassic World.
Right, okay, but not that long ago.
Right, but when people have been writing a lot, because people have written a whole lot of OCX Raptor stuff, and also real character X Raptor stuff, which I at least will get to later. I imagine you might also. So yeah, that was Pregnant and Lost. I need a drink refresher and a bathroom break. Okay. So we will be right back. Okay, we are back. And Kira, you have another story for us, I believe.
Yes, I do. This one's also pretty short, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to give you the basic idea. I told Chris the plot of this one, and he was LOLing just from the summary, so I thought I would use it. This is another one of those stories that has no, paragraph breaks. It's just,
Plop.
Yeah. This story is called Stitches, and is by Kirjava 3456 Airbender on Archive of Our Own. It's a really long username. I didn't even know usernames got that long. This is Owen Grady by Zach Mitchell, which is the older brother.
Yes.
In Jurassic World.
And Owen Grady being the Chris Pratt character, the
Correct.
Raptor Wrangler.
I came across... This was the second most popular pairing, I think, behind standard Cloan.
What was her name again?
Claire.
Yeah,
right?
Cloan. Yeah, that was it. Which, I forgot to say this, but that was trope number 2. Actual characters from the Jurassic Park universe, but, getting together. And yeah, those are number 1 and number 2 by 100 million miles.
Yeah.
It's Chris Pratt's character and the lady character. God, I can't remember the actress's name, and that's very embarrassing. And Chris Pratt's character and the older teenage boy.
Thank God, the
from
older
Jurassic
one, though.
World. I did see some with the younger one.
I saw some, and I wanted to mention this because I saw quite a few with the two brothers as the pairing.
Yep.
Now, I did not pick any of these because I do not feel comfortable with that younger brother being that young. I looked up that the kid who played the older brother is 20, so I don't feel as dirty about that.
Nah. Hey man, whatever moral leaps you got to make to
That's the
to
one.
get right with yourself.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
That's out of all of this, it's the only leap I've made. The summary is, at first, Zach-Win relationship is great. But when Owen starts flirting, Zach starts hating himself. So, they are in a relationship, somehow, for some reason, and it seems like they live together. They got jobs at Jurassic World after it reopened.
Oh.
So maybe he's graduated high school by this point?
He's probably nice and legal.
Yeah, let's go with that. So, they were having a good relationship until they moved back to Jurassic World. And Owen starts coming home late because he has to, take care of the raptors. And then when tourists started coming back, he was flirting with all the ladies. And, here's some quote. It hurt like hell whenever the raptor trainer made those nut-brained girls giggle by flexing his muscles.
Nut-brained?
Yeah. And when he would find a new phone number in one of Owen's pockets, it would feel like a bullet to the heart. Can I keep doing this? Am I that strong? No. He was weak and love-struck, and so the cuts in his chest and thighs bloomed like a bleeding spiderweb, ebbing on his skin, spirals and flowers drawn by the tip of a razor-sharp blade. But the worst was when Owen didn't even notice his suffering and the red lines on his skin. Stop being so stupid. Why would he love you? You're so ugly and boring. Nobody likes you. His mind became his own worst enemy, and Owen became unreachable. And he cried himself to sleep, drowning in a sea of empty sheets and dangerous pain.
Wow, that shit is grimdark, man.
Right?
Wow.
So,
Wow. Is this Jurassic Park or Warhammer 40,000?
So, one night, Owen is like, hey, let's go out to dinner on the main strip in Jurassic World, with the Margaritaville restaurant. And,
where all those people were murdered.
Yeah. So they go out, and they're having a great night, except then all these teen girls start being like, oh my god, are you Owen Grady? Like, the Owen Grady? What? Like, if the movie didn't exist, why would anybody know who he is?
It probably, if the story came out in the press afterwards and a bunch of raptors fall off the I-Rex, I think it would probably, he would probably become a household name, I imagine, I think. I don't think that's that far-fetched.
I feel like it is, though, because lots of disasters happen all over the place, and, the people involved in it don't
and if there was a hurricane coming down, and one guy was like, fuck you, hurricane, and that hurricane turned around, then they would probably feature that guy on the news a lot.
Alright, when you say it that way, I guess it makes a little more sense. But still. And he's like, yes, I am. You are so much more handsome and muscular than in the photos. And they touched his biceps, inviting him to have dinner with them that night. He didn't say yes, but accepted the napkins with their number written on it. When they left, Zach sighed. He had always known he was weak. I can't do this anymore. With those words, Owen snapped out of his reverie and looked at him, his gaze full of worry. We can go back to the bungalow if you want. No, he sighed again, tears welling up in his chocolate eyes. I mean this, us, I can't. What? Why? He took Zach's hand in his and lifted the teen's chin up. I can't keep seeing you with all those girls, and I can't keep sleeping in an empty bed. By now Zach was sobbing, and it felt like his own heart was breaking his ribs one by one.
Take that, rib. Take that, other rib.
Owen tries to convince him, though, they should stay together. We can work this out. And Zach says, no, we can't. Don't go. Stay. If you don't go away, we'll repair our relationship and be happy. I can make you happy. Owen extended an arm for him to take. Zach ran. He never knew how he ended up on a cliff, but there he broke down. He dropped his knees and cried, cursing at the wind and at himself. He screamed and sobbed, throwing his knife into the angry waves of the sea. When he held no more tears, he stared at the stars, feeling numb and broken, shattered. Maybe it was better this way. Maybe Owen could truly be happy now, with one of those bleach blonde California girls he seemed to like. The waves under him looked so inviting, a promise of calmness within their dark wathers. No more pain. A last tear dripped down his skin. I love you, Owen. And so he jumped.
Man.
Yeah.
That's the end?
Well, I thought it was, but apparently that there's a chapter 2 that I didn't even notice. It looks like he didn't die after he jumped off the cliff and stuff, but...
oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. He's in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. I'm leaving it, because I liked the other ending better.
Yeah, no, totally. Now, so that was interesting. Again, no sex.
No. No sex.
I guess the only thing that really tied it into the Jurassic Park universe, particularly, was the fact that he was famous now because of the thing that happened at Jurassic World.
Basically. I mean, and they probably ate dinner at a dinosaur-themed restaurant, but it didn't specifically mention any of that.
That's true. I'm sure they ate, like, Bronto burgers.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
But, last time, you undercut my cockvore theme, and now you've taken suicide from me as well.
I'm sorry.
That's no, it's fine.
Your suicide's probably better. I mean, that one was pretty dramatic, but
I did not see that story. I didn't come across that one because the one that I had really jumped out at me. But that's man. That's I feel bad for that author actually because that's probably some real shit that. That really happened to that person.
To Kirjara 38859 Airbender, whatever.
That was not where I would have seen that coming. I figured make-up sex in the bungalow.
Oh, they've only written 2 stories. Oh, wait. Yeah. And the other one is from Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Oh, hence the Airbender part of the... But did you see that going to bungalow make-up sex? Because I saw that going to bungalow make-up sex.
I mean, no. Because of the cutting. I figured it was probably going to end dark. Because usually when a story starts with cutting, it ends in suicide.
Really?
Yeah. Well, don't you remember the X-Files one where what's-his-face killed himself? Like, that was the same kind of thing. No, you don't remember that?
I don't remember.
That was months ago.
Yeah. Who killed himself?
Mulder killed himself. Remember? Because Scully was getting married to some other dude.
Oh, okay, yes. Now
and he left a message on her answering machine. Yeah.
Yeah, what a pussy move. Okay, so I thought that this story was going to be really going to throw people for a loop, but the loop has already been thrown. I picked this one partially just because it was interesting, and partially because it did not hew to that 3 archetype thing that we were talking about. Because this one doesn't really even have, yours obviously had a suicide in it, but it was also about a relationship between 2 of the original of the property's characters.
Right.
This one is called End of the Rope. It is by Marceline X. Marshall Lee, 582. I believe it was on fanfiction.net. And yeah, it didn't fall into one of the very easy categories that seemingly every other one of these stories is, which is either character X character or character X OC. People turning into raptors or raptor hybrids or human raptor fucking.
People really like raptors.
So, here we go. It starts like this. Owen, the same character we were just discussing, sat with his back to the empty velociraptor paddock, silent tears streaming down his face. He didn't care if tears weren't considered manly. Owen Grady had lost everything. 3 of his raptors, with an apostrophe, were dead. The last one unaccounted for. Blue hadn't been seen in 4 weeks, and Owen was positively depressed. That's a funny...
Yeah, it is. This is a positive depression.
Dangerous dinosaurs were roaming about, and he hadn't a care in the world. The man was nothing but an empty shell. Claire hadn't worked out. Owen tried so hard, but he became distant.
Can I just jump back for a second?
Sure.
What? I don't ever consider depression to be not having a care in the world. Yeah, I found that a little offensive, honestly.
Right, yeah. I mean,
Hooray! This depression wiped away all my cares.
I think what he's saying is that he doesn't care about anything, which is not what not having a care in the world is
a positive thing, yeah.
for being so ebullient that you don't care about bad things.
There are dinosaurs that could kill me everywhere. Oh, well.
Right. This is more like all hope has been drained from everything, and the world
Whatever, I hope they kill me.
the
Not
world
quite
is
the same thing.
a gray husk. Yes. This sentence is confusing to me. Claire hadn't worked out. Owen tried so hard, but he became distant. Claire hadn't worked out. All right.
He tried really hard to be with her, but he had been distant because I guess he was so sad about the Raptors.
All right. I guess that makes sense.
That's how I'm hearing it anyway.
Claire cared deeply for Owen and tried her hardest to cheer him up, but he was unresponsive, emotionless, drinking his pain away. The once proud Velociraptor trainer was now an unkempt mess. He hadn't bathed in weeks, his beard was out of hand, and his now unruly hair hung in his face. Barry tried to get through to him, but it was no use.
Who's Barry?
I think Barry was his partner at the raptor training cage, but it was no use. He was too far gone. He finally convinced Claire to get him help. Just before he left Isla, that's how you say it, Isla? I was informed that I was pronouncing Isla incorrectly before. Isla Nublar himself. Take care of him, Claire, before he does something he'll regret. He needs you. Owen pulled his knees close to his chest. Tossing back his head, he takes a long sip of whiskey. Beside him on the ground sits a .45 caliber revolver. A bottle of strong pills beside that.
Strong pills.
Strong pills. They're the best kind of pills.
Strong pills when you need the job done.
No. Thompson's teeth. The only teeth strong enough to eat other teeth. No one had seen scale nor hide of Blue. I actually really like that turn of phrase. I enjoyed that a lot. Scale nor hide. Of Blue. Claire ordered the containment squad to work double time and find that raptor. While also keeping a close eye on Owen Grady, he'd been going downhill fast. And everyone had noticed... Yeah, the pacing of the sentences, that is. And everyone had noticed. No one was stupid. I don't believe that at all, author. As he'd shuffle along, dragging his feet, sunken in eyes, dark circles from lack of sleep. He'd kept Claire up several times at night with his sobbing and incoherent whispering when she was on watch duty. I just can't do it anymore. I failed them. I failed my girls. I promised them I'd always look out for them, protect them, and I failed. Charlie, Delta Echo, and Blue. I don't deserve to exist. It's just a waste of breath. His voice was monotonous. He no longer cared to live. His inner demons had won. Owen downed the last of the whiskey, tossing the bottle on the ground. It shatters into pieces, glass shards flying in every direction, littering the ground. Grabbing hold of the gun, he stares at the weapon. Glancing down the barrel, he sighs heavily, tired. Putting the gun up to his head, placed on his temple, he closes his eyes. In his hand, he clutches a photo. Whispering softly, he says his final words. I'm sorry, Blue. And he pulled the trigger. Click, bang! His body slumped against the paddock.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
That was very insensitive. The ground and bars painted red with blood and brain matter. The sad truth of suicide. It is not beautiful or poetic. It is painful, slow, and hurts those that you love.
Whoa.
Now,
this turned all after-school special on me all of a sudden.
kind of like the oh my god, this thing is feeling pain, Raptor.
Yeah.
It feels like it's really trying to get to something. But I would argue that it was the opposite of slow. It was very, very fast. Bullets go quite quick.
Yeah,
that's kind of the whole thing that they do.
That's
someone dying from cancer is slow. Someone shooting themselves in the head, that's a pretty quick way to go, honestly. Painful, slow, and hurts those that you love. But it turns out that Blue isn't dead. She was being treated in a medical facility, and no one thought to tell Owen?
What? But I thought the call was out to find her.
I know, that's what I thought too. But apparently she was being treated in a medical facility because her leg got messed up in the IREX fight.
What a senseless death.
I know, right? But she had just been released, and she went looking for Owen, and she finds his body.
Oh.
God.
Man, this is dark.
But then, since the call had been sent out to find her, no matter what the cost, then some guys with guns show up. And, she's being protective of her pack leader. She doesn't understand why he's not, moving or whatever, because apparently a raptor has the understanding of life and death of a 9-month-old or whatever.
I think all the killing they do would make it pretty clear what was going on.
But so they try to get close to her to capture her or whatever and get to Owen's body, and she starts swiping at them and biting them, and she kills one of the guards, and then they're like, it's too late, she's too far gone, kill her, blah, and they shoot her. They shoot the shit out of her.
Oh my.
And then here's the end of the story. Blue's body gives one last twitch, and the life leaves her eyes. Sitting on an embankment, watching a funeral go on below, sits an ex-Navy soldier. Beside him sits 4 velociraptors, again with an apostrophe, happily picking at each other. They bound off and chase each other around a tree, happily barking and chit-chatting. The man stands up and turns his back on the funeral. A smile forms on his lips, and he crosses his arms. Shaking his head, a proud look rests in his eyes. My girls.
So I guess suicide is
happy
is the
answer.
way to go.
Yes.
Because now he has what he wanted all this time.
Exactly, and so does Blue. She's back.
Right.
She's reconnected with her pack
so that's good.
and her alpha.
That is a great moral.
Right. So, shoot out with the authorities and or shooting yourself in the head. Both the answer, even though we were told 2 paragraphs ago that suicide was not the answer.
Who knew?
So, yeah, that went in such a different direction from all of the other stuff that I saw.
I gotta say, I don't really feel like that fits with the character at all.
I also don't feel like it fits with the character. I mean,
I think he'd be bummed about it, and maybe he would drink heavily for a while, but I don't really see him being suicidal about it.
Right. I would see him trying to do... At the end of the film, it kind of seems like Jurassic World is fucked. You could think if they did restart it, he might go back and do it with another.
Try again,
right? Exactly. or even if not doing that, then maybe he could teach some inner city kids, or train chimpanzees or something. I don't know, something that's not quite so deadly.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was odd. I also thought that maybe it was going to go for the redemption angle. You know what I mean? He was about to pull the trigger, but then a pack of baby velociraptors just happened upon him or whatever, and he raised and they taught him that life was worth living again.
Right.
All of that kind of stuff. When he actually pulled the trigger, I was honestly kind of surprised because. Because there was so much of the story left, because it goes through... I skipped over a whole chunk from Blue's perspective.
Doing that, I'm surprised that the author gave us such a mixed message, really.
Right, yeah. You'd think that they would be on point with this kind of shit. Are you pro-suicide or anti-suicide?
Can't be both.
Pick a side, America. There is no gray area. Ever, in anything. All right, so Kira, you had another one for us?
I have one more.
You again?
I have one more, and this one I did not finish reading because I fell asleep before you guys got here. That's me. But, hang on, I gotta log back in my Microsoft Surface Pro 3.
Do you not have a pin set up?
What?
A pin?
Nope.
Oh my god, it's the best. I just have 4 numbers that I type in instead of having to do a whole password.
That sounds way better.
Yeah, I know. You should really do it.
Amazing.
It's part of Windows 10, also from the amazing suite of Microsoft products, which you should upgrade to. They gave it to you for free, and it's pretty good.
I do need to upgrade on here. I do not want to upgrade my big computer.
It's fine. It's like they took all of the best parts of 7 and just...
But I really just like it. So...
Really, 10 is good for non-tablets also. Trust me. Windows 10, good for non-tablets, unbelievably enough. That you can put that on your box, Microsoft.
It would probably help, actually. I mean...
Some guy with a podcast says the byline.
Hey, this is pretty alright.
Yeah. Not as terrible as Windows 8.
Anyway, this story is called Behind Amber Eyes by Untherius on Archive of Our Own. And the author's note says, a velociraptor attack shows Robert Muldoon that there is more to life than blood, and more to blood than life. The resultant startling revelation about himself and the velociraptors leads to a new life of coexistence between their races and an unprecedented mingling of life and blood.
Pretty deep. Now, just to recap, Robert Muldoon was the guy in the first Jurassic Park film who wore the very short cargo shorts, or very short khaki shorts, and had thighs bigger than my fucking waist.
Yeah. That dude's legs, man.
And then he got cornered by those raptors, and then later on that was Samuel L. Jackson's arm. But anyway, he got murdered by some raptors later on.
Yeah, he did. So yeah, in this story, the raptors attack him, but they don't kill him. Because the alpha raptor lady who bites him, and when she tastes his blood, she sees flashes of memories, and apparently all these raptors have this really in-depth religion and past lives and stuff. So he was her lover raptor in a past life or something. And so she can't kill him because if he has raptor memories, that means other humans might also be incarnated raptors. And we
all feel pain.
Right. And so they drag him back and fix him up, and they try and
The raptors fix him up?
Well, no, the raptors drag him back, and then they make the other humans come and help him. Like the other people who are on the island. Because they can speak, also.
Oh, the raptors can talk.
Not mentioned that part.
Yeah,
but
that makes it a little
The raptors
clearer.
can speak English very, very brokenly. If you can imagine trying to talk without, moving your lips, that's kind of how they have the raptors' written words. It's real disorienting to read.
Raptor Lip's going to come up in my last story, by the way, as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating. But, so, I saw that this was 9 chapters long and 28,000 words, and I was like, nah. But, then I fell asleep, and this was still open in my tab, and so I just skipped ahead to the part where I figured they were going to have, sexy times, and so that's where I'm going to pick up. So I have no idea how the story ends. Nor do I know entirely how this sex scene goes. But I read that thing I just said to you in the beginning. So they just had dinner. The Raptors and Robert Muldoon.
Is he eating...
I think they cooked food.
Oh.
Yeah.
Raptors eat cooked food?
I guess so. I think that they were moderately bewildered by it, but, since they're all one now. Where are the younglings, he asked. Sholtha twitched her head towards a darkened corner. Too dead, she said, because you can't make a B sound without lips. They're not actually dead. He grunted in acknowledgement. The two of them locked eyes for a moment, and he felt his body temperature rise. He saw something in those eyes, something he'd seen many, many times in his former life. He knew exactly what that meant, and he wasn't sure he could go there. Not that he was particularly resistant to the idea, but there were certain anatomical considerations. So, he can tell that she wants to do it.
We're adults.
Robert nodded. Then he leaned over and kissed her on the nose. Not a peck on the cheek sort of kiss, but a more lingering one. How do you lingering kiss someone's face?
With that noise? You probably can't hear it on the microphone.
This sex scene just got a lot
I'll
funnier.
try to do it. Hold on. That definitely got picked up by the microphone.
Yeah, I see the little lumps.
Yep.
I love you, he said quietly. That statement surprised him. It had come out of nowhere, or so it seemed. He suddenly realized that he did indeed love her. Moreover, he realized he'd loved her all along, but he probably hadn't been aware of it. Sholotha smiled. Then she shifted her weight, thrust her hips high into the air, and moved her tail off to the side. Robert knew exactly what that meant. He didn't, however, remember much else about Velociraptor courtship. That's a mouthful. He stared at her posterior, then looked back into her face, then back to her tail, then back to her face. Sholtha cocked her head to the side as if to ask him why he was waiting. Robert ran a hand through his hair nervously. He wasn't sure he'd been quite so addled since his wedding night some 15 years before. He also wasn't entirely sure what to say.
Wait, is he cheating on his wife with a raptor?
Apparently.
Is that... If you're that wife... is that better or worse than just, a lady from up the street? Or, the kid's 3rd grade teacher?
That's a great question, and I do not have an answer for you.
Because I imagine if it's, the lady up the street or the teacher, then you could be like, what wasn't I to him?
Right.
But if he's fucking a raptor...
It's pretty clear what you weren't.
What can you even do in that situation?
So sorry I don't have a tail in a snout.
A giant latex suit, I guess, but those are really expensive and hard to clean.
He stepped behind Sholtha, I think it's Sholtha, and pushed his hips between her tail and upper leg. Then he frowned. Alskillinga? I don't know. I think that's some sort of pet name from earlier in the story. It's raptor language. I don't know. She replied with an inquisitive grunt. I, don't think this is going to work. She cocked her head.
So does he have his dick in her thigh gap? Is that what I'm...
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Guy not. I guess we can't make W sounds without lips either. Why?
Yeah, I guess.
She asked innocently. Because He wasn't sure how to explain it. He quickly decided to be direct, because I'm not as long as I used to be. She blinked.
What? As I used to be?
When he was a raptor in a past life.
Oh, alright. Yeah, no, never mind. That makes complete sense.
Got do you mean? See what I mean?
Like, I appreciate the commitment to the world you've created.
Appreciate isn't necessarily the word I would use, but yes.
But I mean, man, there's something to be said for user experience.
Robert squirmed. He stepped aside.
That's what I'm going to start calling it now. My
He stepped aside and pointed to his still erect, well, mostly erect, nethers. Is that long? To reach your oviduct, it needs to be at least this long. He held his hand out, indicating the distance closer to half a meter.
Holy moly. Velociraptors did not have half a meter penises, did they?
I never met one.
I thought humans famously had, like, the most giant penises relative to our body size of, like, any creature that exists.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think we might have the smallest penis.
No.
I think someone should look this up.
I can do it.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
No fucking chance. I don't know if you heard that on mic. My wife said she saw a dolphin penis that went to the dolphin's nose yesterday. That is not a thing.
Why are you looking at animal penises on the internet?
Yeah, Megan.
I think it popped up on Tumblr.
Mm-hmm.
Human penis versus animals.
Human penises are really unimpressive.
But for as big as we are, they're not. I'm telling you. Ranking the 7 animals with the largest genitals. 1, the blue whale.
No, well, that's just going without
right,
saying.
Yeah, this is just...
Yeah. Did you put relative to size in there?
I put versus animals, which might...
No!
Right, that might have been a poor choice of wording.
Put penis size relative to size. Mammals? Question mark?
Human penis size.
We know how big human penises are.
Okay, when compared to other primates, including large primates such as the gorilla, the human penis is the thickest, both in absolute terms and relative to the rest of the body. I thought it was all animals, though. An adult penis with an erect length of less than 7 centimeters, but otherwise formed normally, is referred to in medicine as a micropenis. I skirt that one. Here we go. For their size, human penises are larger than other animals, e.g. chimps, gorillas, lions. Alright, I guess it's just primates. I thought it was all animals.
No.
The smallest human penis ever measured was 2.25 inches in length. No way is that the smallest human penis ever measured.
Maybe they mean the smallest regular penis? That's not a micropenis?
In comparison to other primates. Okay, I misunderstood. It was only other primates that we have much larger junk than, relative to our size.
Got that straightened out. So velociraptors could very well have half a meter penises.
That still seems way enormous.
You gotta get to their oviducts somehow. Sexy terms, by the way. Sholtha blinked again. Oh, she said flatly. The two of them looked at each other for many moments.
You can't make O's without lips either.
It would be like,
yeah, exactly.
I feel like kind of like having a conversation with me, honestly. The two of them looked at each other for many moments. Finally, Sholtha asked, "How do you Hunani do it?" Honestly, I think there's a lot of these. She made a W sound in that, and how?
Yeah.
I'm not buying this, but anyway.
I take back that thing I said about appreciating the conviction, because obviously you're not even convicted enough to realize that you can't make W's. Or O's.
Robert hadn't been expecting that question. He presumed she was referring to positions. Well, lots of ways, but often front to front. Sholtha grunted pensively. She lifted a hand and scratched the underside of her jaw with a knuckle. Nazda? She said. I don't know what that word's supposed to be. Only a week before, he'd been having a lot of trouble understanding her English at times. She apparently couldn't pronounce any labial sounds, which made her dictations awkward. But he'd grown used to it. That's great, but the rest of us haven't. What is that word supposed to be?
Exactly. Labial.
Yeah, I was like,
dictation.
Ew. He stepped sideways as Sholtha lowered her hips and tail, then stepped sideways herself. She executed a controlled fall on her side and rolled over onto her back, all her legs sticking up in the air.
Okay, I can see it. I'm there.
The effect was quite comical. but the way she looked at him most definitely wasn't. He knew exactly what she wanted, and it made his pulse race and his manhood re-stiffen. There was only one thing for it. Robert stepped between Schultz's legs and straddled the base of her tail. He knelt down and found her oviduct easily enough. He at least remembered that much, but little else, which was probably just as well. It would be like his first time all over again. He slipped into her. She was as warm as he remembered. Schultz made a sound that he was unsure how to interpret. You felt that? He asked. Oh, yes, she purred. That was surprising. Surely human and velociraptor male anatomy differed in more than just length, or did it? After all, he'd seen antelope phalluses that were much slighter in girth than he'd have expected.
Wonder where he gets his expectations.
He made a single smooth, gentle thrust. There's a lot of descriptions for that thrust. Her body moved very...
I think single, smooth, gentle is the body wash that I've seen a commercial for recently.
Her body moved very slightly, though the flesh around her oviduct yielded with a soft, splurchy sound. She made the same kind of sound she had a moment before. He stopped. She made a mildly distressed noise. So he keeps thrusting. He's having, flashes of memories of sexual encounters they'd had before in their past lives.
So it's not creepy or gross then?
No, not at all.
Yes.
So, yeah, they did it. That was, eventually he climaxes and that's it. He started to say, Gonderthal, she finished.
It's like he's fucking Sloth from the Goonies.
Oh, good gracious. That's that. There's 6 other chapters, but like I said, I didn't get a chance to read them. I just wanted to jump right to the dinosaur sex. And it was slightly disappointing, but kind of hilarious.
Alright, well, my final selection is also about human-raptor relations, carnal style, not like, diplomacy and shit.
Right. Dinosaur UN.
And here's the thing. This is going to be really long.
Okay.
Like the longest thing I've probably ever read for the podcast.
Wow.
I'm cutting out a lot of the beginning of the story, and I then went through this 3 times trying to find things that I could cut.
But you loved it all so
much. There was
much.
nothing I wanted to not read aloud. It's all too good. So this is called Friends with Benefits by Official Tarian on fanfiction.net. So there's a guy, and he's trying to survive on Isla Nublar, and he makes friends with a raptor. And she totally wants to be more than just friends, though. One day, he's trying to change pants, and she headbutts him in the ass, and he falls over, and then he turns around, and goddamn does she ever want it. He then had a guess as to the friskiness. He looked from its eyes to the area a little ways beneath the base of his friend's tail. He saw again the pink, puffy Cloaca's lips, and now they themselves appeared to be mildly salivating.
Oh, God, I'm done, I'm out!
He looked with an admitted strange and almost primal arousal as he saw the hints of pink that were betrayed by the soft sideways slit. With all this, he put together that he had, in his presence, a velociraptor in heat. And more than that, he could also be pretty sure that this raptor was female. As he had a strong doubt that a male would be bending over to mate. He had always lent in favor that his friend was female when he had thought about it. It might have just been strange if a male dinosaur was so friendly. That's fucking sexist as balls.
It is.
But then whoever said females of any kind were particularly friendly.
What?
Also sexist as balls.
Author?
He was only a few feet from the awaiting Cloaca. Close. Awaiting Cloaca is my Guar cover band, by the way. He was only a few feet away from the awaiting Cloaca, close enough that he could smell the sweaty, sweet pheromone-filled musk that came from it. The heat emitting from it was enough to make the smell all the stronger, and it filled his nostrils. Strangely enough, in this situation, the smell of the stinky Cloaca was rather sexy, and he felt his member hardening at both its sight and smell.
Ew.
But what was he thinking? This was just a randy animal in heat. He couldn't do something like that, he thought to himself.
Don't use stinky in a sex scene, I'm just saying. Like, I'm gonna add... We should start an actual, like, physical list of words to not use in a sex scene.
Stinky cloaca. He struggled to his feet. Now standing up behind his guest, she crooned gently as she wiggled her backside ever so slightly. She was a little crouched while bent over and had her cloaca, man, he really likes that word, in perfect height to match his own sex. Right now, he need only to take a step and a half over to her, place his hands on her hips, and insert his manhood. He couldn't deny that it was a very tempting proposition, as his stiff and pointing member gave hint to. Don't end a sentence in a preposition. He hadn't had anything remote sexual pleasure in his time here. He was very built up. Not a term that I would use for it. But even so, he was tense now and felt very unsure. He turned away from her, looking down at his cot on the floor with a blank stare. He couldn't do it.
On the floor?
Yep. He couldn't do it. He was nervous more than anything, he
Did
supposed.
you say cot?
Yeah, cot. Oh, you thought I said cock. No, cot.
Would not be the first time that it was on the floor in this podcast. So.
Although it would probably be a lot closer to the dimensions of the raptor member if it was on the floor.
Correct.
He couldn't do it. He was nervous more than anything, he supposed. He lowered his head and looked at his erect manhood. "You're not the least bit nervous, though, are you?" he said to it quietly. It's also kind of creeping me out that he's still referring to it as it, even though at this point he's clearly identified it as a willing female.
Wait, what? Where did he say that? Read that sentence to me again.
"You're not the least bit nervous, though, are you?" he said to it quietly.
I think he's talking to his penis.
Oh, huh. Yeah, that might make sense, actually.
Yeah.
I would assume that was
he's
the
talking
raptor.
to his penis. He's like getting a pep talk.
He was daring himself to turn back around when he was pushed, a little crudely, in the back. He had to step forward to catch himself, throwing his arms out. He turned around and saw a pair of golden eyes staring him down. She had her face very close to his and was baring her teeth ever so slightly. She was squinting as she stared him down, appearing angry. Oh, God, he thought. Had he insulted her? "It's not you," he said quietly, mild pleading in his voice. It's me, really. You're... He stopped talking as she purred deeply in her throat once more and lowered her head on her long neck. Here we go.
No.
She went straight for his manhood.
Oh, no.
But before she touched it, she brought her soft tongue out and licked up on his muscular stomach. The tongue was slick and muscular, working its way from his waist to the base of his chest. The warm moistness of it was a pleasurable sensation. When it retreated back into her mouth, she brought the tip of her snout to the head of his member.
Isn't your chest the... What? Your waist is the base of your chest, isn't it?
Working its way from his waist to the base of his chest. No, like your abs, or I guess it means like he licked up the abs.
Okay, he should have just said that.
He felt her hot breath brush over it in a pleasuring warm wave, blowing at his pubic hair and making his member twitch in anticipation. "You're beautiful," you were spelled incorrectly. He finally finished... That was quick. He finally finished as he watched and felt his member come into contact with her hot, slippery tongue. It stuck out of her maw only partially as the tip of it licked at the head of his member. She glanced up at him and chirped happily, and he couldn't hold back a smile as he saw her obvious interest in his manhood.
This is way grosser than mine.
She pulled... Man, we're not even...
You win this one already.
She pulled her tongue back in and now nudged at his member with her nose, breathing its smell in heavily as her hot breath played over his manhood. Really likes to use the word manhood.
I'm getting that from him.
She propped his member on top of her snout as she sniffed at his jewels.
Oh, why?
He moaned quietly as he felt her warm tongue reach out and lap at his hanging sack, picking up one nut with her hot, wet tongue. At his moaning, she did it some more, playing with his balls using her tongue. Her efforts were audible as a slicking, licking sound as her tongue came in and out of her mouth while she licked.
That's generally how licking
Her
works.
balls were quickly coated in her slimy saliva. I'm pretty sure that's a misrepresentation of the pronoun.
Yeah.
As she gently licked at them, his member twitched on top of her snout as she pleasured him. He watched as a small bit of pre-cum drippled. I'm sorry, dripped. I apologize. That was all me. That was not an author. I threw the L in there.
You were making gross words up.
A small bit of pre-cum. Small bit of pre-cum dripped from the tip of his member and onto the top of her snout. Perhaps she smelt it, or perhaps she felt it. But she definitely dealt it. That's not in the story.
It should be.
Perhaps she felt it, but she then began to retreat her snout from the base of his member. She brought her snout once more to the tip of his member. A thin line of precum connected the tip of his member to her nose, and with the reach of her hand she found the small drops of the fluid on her snout. She wiped a little clawed hand over the wetness on her snout, and then licked at her hand, tasting his pee.
Really, Pre? What? How have I never heard this before? All these horrible
stories. You really
stories.
haven't? I have heard pre used.
I have not.
And not very often. She wiped her little clawed hand over the wetness on her snout and then licked at her hand, tasting his pre. She licked at her hand again as she got the last of it off and began to work on the head of his member. She licked with the tip of her tongue on the head of his member. Jesus. Get a thesaurus, bro. Licking at the slimy pre that came from it. The sensation was almost unbearably pleasurable to his so long unattended member. Can we have a member? Can you put in a ding every time I say the word member, and then we'll count them?
I thought it was manhood.
It's both now. It was manhood at first. Now it seems to be going to member. As she licked, more pre came out, and she licked it up too. She then began licking the length of his shaft from base to tip, her warm Morse tongue toying with the head of his member as she reached for it. Her hot breath followed with every lick, making the oral all the more intense. He felt his pleasure building and building, making him uncertain of how much longer he could last. But she didn't stop, and he found himself not able to find the words to tell her he was so close.
So, pause. Mm-hmm. He's not, she doesn't actually have it in her mouth. She's just licking it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So
that makes
this
me
is all tongue action
somewhat
up to
less
this point.
uncomfortable on a scale of, it's all uncomfortable, but...
Not able to find the words to tell her he was so close, so she continued licking at his member, and every now and then going back to lick at his sack. He was moaning with every slippery hot stroke, and his breathing was coming harder as he tried to hold back. But as she opened her mouth wider, trying to wrap her tongue around his member playfully, he couldn't hold back anymore. Her hot breath and her slick tongue aided in his coming to orgasm so suddenly as he began to come. Redundancy is redundant. He felt his muscles tense in the tingling pleasure as his slick member went into a twitching frenzy as it shot hot seed into her mouth and onto her tongue. His seed came out violently, hitting the sides of her mouth as much as it got in. It made long strands as it dripped down with her saliva. The cum that didn't shoot dripped down onto her licking tongue as she continued to work on his member. For a moment, she was oblivious to what had happened, but she quickly started to taste the strong flavor of his seed. She let his member be for a few moments as she licked her chops of the seed that coated them. He saw her tail behind her, swishing back and forth in excitement. She licked at his member some more. That's the 30th member.
It's gotta be.
Tasting the thick, slimy white fluid that dripped out. Slimy, probably also a word that you probably shouldn't use when you're trying to make things sex.
Stinky, slimy sex scene.
She obviously liked the taste, and yet as she licked, he felt a gut-punching regret at having allowed himself to come. More so when she noticed that his member was retreating in stature, and no more of the slimy fluid was coming out. She brought her head up and then nuzzled into his chest. He held to her head with his hands as he returned the love with a kiss on the top of her snout. She liked the gesture, licking her long tongue to the area that he had kissed and chirping. She nuzzled the tip of her nose under his chin as she purred, then rubbing the top of her head under his neck. Her feathers tickled him, and he chucked as he then wrapped his arms around her long neck lovingly. Now, that was probably supposed to be chuckled, but I can't help but think of him just vomiting right on top of her head.
I'm not saying I'm against the idea of velociraptors having feathers. However, I don't remember that being featured in any of the movies. Just throwing that out there.
Nope. She copied the gesture in a way as she wrapped her arms around his middle. Now you're starting to break my suspension of disbelief.
This is what it took?
Yep.
A raptor hug?
Raptor hug would be a good name for something. But she then broke off the engagement, here's your ring back, turning from him and bending over once more, her head low to the ground and her hindside standing up high for him. Face down, ass up.
This is not the way to get what you want if you're a raptor in heat, is to make him finish before he even gets there.
Well, he tried to tell her that he was close, but he couldn't figure out how to do it. This one doesn't talk, unlike yours. Her tail moved to its side, and the last foot of it twitched. Her cloaca couldn't have been readier than it was. The slimy fluids dripped from its puffed pink lips in excess amount. He gulped as he looked down at his flaccid member. He knew that he could be ready again, but he had to stall somehow. He took a leap of faith and stepped close behind his crooning friend. She turned her head to look forward and closed her eyes as she waited for what was to come. He hoped he wouldn't disappoint her as he got to his knees. He smelt the strong smells of her slippery lower lips. Perhaps she had cleaned herself down there, and maybe the falling fluids helped as well. Place such as this ought to smell pretty rank, though he was very glad it didn't. Her lower region smelt only musky and sweaty sweet as he came close to it now.
No.
On his knees, he was close enough behind her that he could rest his head on the base of her thigh, and using his hands, he began to rub his fingers over her squishy, wet, very warm crevice.
He's using every wrong word.
He ran the tips of his fingers into the split between her two lips. The fluids made their movement back and forth in ease. He felt her cloaca's muscles twitch as he touched her sensitive lips. She squirmed even more as he began inserting his pointer and middle finger into her cloaca. He ran the two fingers in and out of her as she chirped lowly in pleasure. As he sped up his fingering, he began to wiggle his fingers about inside her. Her hot, slick insides.
Ew.
Her hot, slick insides squeezed tightly around his fingers, massaging them and matching his rhythm. He brought his fingers partially out of her, watching the fluid stick to them. It was then that he saw a little nub that was being hidden just within her lips. He pulled his fingers out and used both hands to gently spread her lips. He saw clearly a little nub in between her lips, dead center of her lips.
What the heck?
As he touched her with his fingers, he saw her squirm and trying to knead her claws into the hard floor as she purred. He began to play with it using one hand and fingering her again with the other. As he pleasured her, he felt the blood returning to his member, and so he fingered her faster, making her croon loudly with her mouth open as she breathed more heavily. He began matching her muscle contractions around his fingers with his thrusting, bringing her closer and closer to her climax. He began to thrust faster and faster, making a slicking smack as the base of his hand hit her outer lips while he fingered her powerfully. His other hand stimulating her clitoris. As he worked his fingers in and out of her, she wouldn't last much longer. In a quick motion, he pulled his fingers free and stood up. Before she could fully know what was happening, he inserted his ready member into her sideways slit. Now, they mentioned this before once. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, like a bear claw that's sitting on a table.
Yeah.
Like what?
Oh God, no!
Like an Arby's roast beef if it's sitting on a table, as opposed to
that's better.
the
I
opposite,
think. Yeah.
If you're like holding it.
Why would a raptor have a sideways?
I don't know. That's our
business.
Is this like a racism thing?
I don't know. Maybe the velociraptor penis that we haven't seen is like...
You can't have a sideways penis. Oh, I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
It would be
like... it's not round, it's like a plank.
So that's what all those kids mean by planking.
Oh, gross.
He quickly began thrusting fast with no time to play around. He continued to meet her muscles movements, thrusting his hips against hers as she wiggled her hind to meet his thrusts with extra pleasure. He held to the base of her muscular thighs. He had to slightly crouch and point his hips up as he met with the underside of her tail.
I was going to say, I'm still concerned about where this tail is.
Yeah, it said that she moved it to the side, but
you can't just still, like detach it and move it.
Exactly. The positioning of this is very... Although if she's really doing the face down, ass up, then it could be like up and to the side.
Yeah, that's true. And he would have to like kind of just duck out of the way. I think that my story kind of played this better, but...
He thrust into her faster and faster, her velvety smooth, hot, wet, muscular insides meeting every speedy insertion. Well, I mean, yeah, by definition, they kind of have to meet. The slapping of his hips against her smooth, leathery backside filled the room. Her low growling of pleasure and his moaning, plus their heavy breathing, added to the noise. He felt himself coming again as she raised her head as high as she could while bent over for him and cried. He was pretty sure she was coming too. It was not only her outward movements, though. Her insides were on fire with a flurry of pulsating muscular contractions.
Ew.
He thrust hard a few more times into her as he went through the waves of her orgasm. Meanwhile, he himself went through his own pleasure hurricane.
Amazing.
As his muscles twitched on their own, trying to enjoy the last of the pleasure as he quickly thrust into her and held in while his muscles tensed up to fire. He probably shot more than he ever had before. He felt his member throbbing with pulsating twitches as it shot his hot human seed into her reptilian cloaca. Her warm, squeezing folds milked every last bit out of him as he continued to weakly thrust in and out of her slippery, slick cavern. She had her head down low as she panted. She soon pulled her head up to look back at him. As she rose, her backside fell and he slipped out of her. She turned about and nuzzled the side of her face into the side of his arm and the nape of his neck. He was still recovering from his orgasm as she loved him, but he managed to give her an around-the-neck hug and kiss her multiple times before she walked past him. She went over to his cot on the floor and, using her 3-toed feet, messed up the entire thing.
That was rude.
I got a meeting in the morning, so... He watched her blink her eyes sleepily as he finally thought to put his pants on properly and pull them up. His slimy member...
No!
His slimy member tucked away once more.
Wipe that off!
He saw her open her eyes and look at him. She chirped tiredly at him and lifted her head, motioning to a spot beside her. He gladly walked over and was able to nuzzle himself up next to her, his back to her warm side. Her head lay just above his, so that if he looked up, he could see the tip of her snout. He could hear her breathing softly as she began falling asleep. Her long tail came up around them, encircling them with her embrace.
I don't think that's how raptor tails work.
He felt partially a fool for stuttering like he had before when she had offered himself to him. This was probably the best experience of his life, let alone the best sex.
Wow.
He was drained of both seed and energy. And as he began to fall asleep next to her sleeping form, he wondered, would it really be okay for her to stay the night with him? Would she even stay the entire night? And if she did, would someone or something come looking for her? Velociraptors, with an apostrophe, like many dinosaurs, stuck in herds, or in the case of predators, in packs. Well, only the morning would tell him the answers to these things. So with the afterglow of their mating, and the warmth of her body, and the rhythm of her breath, he fell asleep, forgetting that he had left the door unlocked. End of chapter 1.
Let me just say, I think that sharing a bed with a raptor would be, like, the most uncomfortable
Yeah,
thing
that would
possible.
be horrible, right?
Yeah.
For, like, a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
First of all, they're, like, real big.
Yeah.
Second of all, like, imagine that tail is like a cat's tail where it just moves around of its own accord.
Oh my God.
You would get fucking flung out of bed every 20 minutes,
Totally.
at the very least. Plus, if they just, like, if they have a bad raptor dream and they're just like, like, you're
just
clawed into 14 fucking parts.
Yeah.
Or if they, like, yawn and don't realize it, they'll just close their jaws on your head. Like, it's a...
Yeah, there's, like,
it's
a
like
lot
sleeping
of things
with a
that could go
bear.
bad.
Like, there's no good way to do it.
Well, and they're not probably very soft.
No, although she was warm and slippery.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one got real deep. Not just into raptor cloaca, but into the sordid details and the a veritable rainforest of adjectives.
That was horrible.
I thought you might enjoy
Again,
that.
stinky,
And by enjoy,
slimy.
I mean gag.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No.
Definitely happened. I did not read chapter 2, honestly. By the end
Just
of
like
chapter,
my suicide
By
story.
the end of chapter 1, I was fucking spent, man. I couldn't do it
Empty
anymore.
of seed, perhaps?
No, but of the other stuff.
The will to live?
So, any last thoughts on our Jurassic Park adventure?
It was not what I was expecting. I was a little disappointed, but it was still
Yeah,
fun.
there was like I said, 3 categories really, with very few outliers from those 3 categories.
Yeah.
And you'd think with, like, okay, I get it. Raptors, super cool. Everybody knows raptors are awesome, right?
True.
They're the centerpiece of the franchise, except maybe the T-Rex. But, like, there were so many kinds of dinosaurs.
Yeah. It's true.
But literally every
Everybody wants to have
every
sex with a
human
raptor.
fucking a dinosaur or vice versa was a raptor, except
Yeah.
that one where that guy could be anything, and even then he was usually probably a raptor.
Right.
Because could you imagine like a T-Rex? Like, I mean, you'd have to be some sort of
But see, I
12-foot
wanted
tall
to at
Amazonian
least
to-
try to read it,
right, exactly.
but it wasn't even there for me to read.
I mean, or it could be magic. Like it could, you could, or it doesn't even have to be magic. It could be genetic engineering.
It can just be not making any sense, like the time Sonic had a 6-foot-long penis.
Right. Or the time that he was licking that self-insertion character's boobs at the same time that she was on her back in the bed.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, all of that
Give
shit.
me something.
So except for that one guy who wrote about the fogged up Jeep windows, step up your game, Jurassic Park fanfic writers. Really.
Agreed. Try a little harder.
There's thousands of dinosaurs, man. It's not all just raptors
and there's so many different
T-Rexes.
situations that you could be in, and everything was very standard, I thought.
Yeah.
Pairings were
it really
standard,
was.
dinosaurs were standard, situations were standard.
I liked that last one because of how much descriptive detail it got into, how much explicit, disgusting detail it got into, but like there was nothing all that special about
Groundbreaking,
the situation or whatever, you know.
Perhaps we're becoming jaded, I don't know.
Or, even if it was just something besides, vanilla bestiality. I was going to say vanilla sex, but I mean, I guess fucking a dinosaur isn't that vanilla. But, they're going to be like Triceratops BDSM, or like...
I pictured the most adorable little mask on it.
Or like Stegosaur age play, or like, you know what I mean? It was all it was the most vanilla shit. All of it was.
Yeah. Though, I feel like most of the stories we read are, except, okay, I understand that Sam being inside of Dean's penis is not extremely vanilla. But, you know what I mean? Like, all the stories, except for how many fluids there are,
Right.
It's all pretty standard stuff.
And that's one of the things that I think this has, that I think erotic fanfiction has, that's very different from mainstream pornography these days, is porn is ultra specific at everything now. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually kind of hard to just, like...
Look at
to
porn.
find, like the kind of porn that you would just like walk into Sam's Club and it would just be like in a black box that
right,
said like porn. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like everything
the pizza
is
man's
something.
here, but I don't have any money.
Right, everything's a big sausage pizza, or it's a MILF Hunters, or it's I fucked my stepbrother, or it's small tits, or it's enormous tits, or it's fake
like
cum,
8 guys come in this bowl and then someone drinks it.
Right, yeah. It's everything is super, or it's Latinas, or it's black girls, or it's redheads, or it's like everything. But this is all just like two people had sex, and some of it, because a lot of the time it's characters that within these fandoms. You can't like fudge that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like Goku. Like, isn't blonde except when he's Super Saiyan. So, like, even if you were really into, like, blonde guy... Well, I guess that was a really bad example because he's blonde when he's Super Saiyan. But you know what I'm saying? Like, these are established characters.
Right.
So they have a set of physical characteristics. So that kind of specificity you can't get into. But, like, some ropes or, like, some whipping or...
Stuff that they're into can change. Because
Right.
it's usually
Exactly.
not specified in whatever the fandom that you're writing for is.
Right.
Like, nobody said in Jurassic Park, like... He only likes to do it regular style.
Regular style.
You know what I mean? Like, no, you can take it and run from there.
And if raptors really are all that smart and advanced and shit, they would have come up with some stuff by now.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I'm sure. Raptors are real kinky.
Although I wonder, are dolphins? Because, like, dolphins are, like, kind of our go-to, right, for, like, smart animal.
But
do they do sex weird ways?
I mean, I think dolphins try to have sex with you.
Like, do dolphins do oral?
I don't know.
I think they do, too. I'm going to look it up, though.
I think dolphins are into some stuff.
Nope.
Your search history.
Yeah. It's in tablet mode. Fuck you. Fuck you, Microsoft Surface Pro 3. Please give me money.
You take that back.
Do dolphins do oral sex? Do dolphins have oral sex? Answers.com.
You should have Googled that.
It wasn't working, or I would have. Dr. Jack Perry has recently published an article that states dolphins do engage in oral sex. He observed 7 that have been in captivity for 4 or more years, and all males. He observed them engaging in oral sex and even bumhole sex, and then decided that would help. What?
What? Help what?
What? Help
Who is it
what?
helping?
I mean, I guess it's helping the dolphins.
Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever makes them happy. I'm not going to judge.
What does oral sex do for you? How can you do oral sex?
What do? Penis mouth?
How do you get her to have oral sex with you? Where can you get oral sex? Oh, here's the best one. Can you do oral sex? Answer, yes. 25 people found this helpful.
What a relief.
Do you have to have oral sex?
Yes.
No, you don't legally have to, even if you are married to the person.
No!
And sex-wise, that's obviously not your only choice.
Not legally obligated.
You are
That's good
not
to know.
legally obligated to perform oral, even if you're married. That's not part of the vows.
Unless
when you,
it is.
when you sign
I
your
mean-
certificate.
Oh,
man.
good gracious. That was
Anyways, with
beautiful.
that, I think we're probably done for the night.
I think we probably are.
So we will wrap up if I can get my Surface working again. And I'm putting in my very easy pin. I'm back to the oral sex page. That's not what I want.
Isn't
I mean,
it?
it is what I want, but it's not what I want at this exact second. So that's the end. Please follow us on Twitter. I am at Procrastinarian. She is at Empress Kiravi.
Yeah, I don't use Twitter that often.
Email
but-
us. Yeah, but if you get a notification, it would probably
Yeah,
pop up
yeah,
on
I
your
get a
phone.
notification. Mutter.
Email us. We are slashandburnpod@gmail.com.
We really want to hear
I have
from you.
also registered slashandburnpod@gmail.com if that is funnier to you. And
It
will
is.
redirect. Well, and get in contact with us with whatever you like. Ideas for the show, comments, reactions. The precise amount that you vomited after listening to the Vor episode. Maybe you kept the bucket handy and you could put a ruler inside of it
Yeah,
afterwards.
please. I would like to know in inches how much you vomited. Or centimeters. I mean, whatever you measure
Yeah, whatever.
with.
We'll do metric.
Yeah.
Google makes it easy enough. But yeah, so, I mean, I had fun with... I was a little disappointed, but overall
Yeah.
I still had fun.
Yeah,
with it.
I mean, I still enjoyed it. I was hoping for more.
It wasn't as upsetting as the Vor.
It definitely
Vor stuff
cleansed my
was.
palate, I would say.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get into some really disturbing shit again for the next one. Probably not. We'll probably do another fandom. Let us know what fandom you want us to do. We'll do, like, literally pretty much anything except for, what did I say I would rather die than do?
Minions.
No Minions. If you suggest Minions, I'm sorry. Not doing it.
Not even if we had fans write in and want minions. Even if we had fans...
If we had, like, a petition on change.org that got, like, 100 signatures,
100
we'll do
signatures
Minions.
is what
100
it'll take
signatures,
from
I'll
you.
do Minions, yeah.
Okay.
So, 4 years from now, when we've got millions of listeners...
This is going to come back to
and
you.
100 of them could make that petition go in 5 seconds. I'm sure that we will. And Minions is on Minions 8.
Oh, I can't take
Plus
much
4 more direct-to-DVDs, I'm
I
sure.
can't take much more minions on my Facebook feed.
Well, that's what you get for looking at Facebook.
Hey.
Anyway, we've been Slash and Burn. I'm Steve.
And I'm Kira.
And thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.